It's day 84, it's the end of week 12, it's the Sunday weigh-in. Welcome back to my Big Fat Vlog. Hello guys, how are you doing? Welcome back. Welcome to this crazy snowy Sunday. We had some heavy snowfall last night in the UK, which is really odd for April, and was really big, fat, fluffy kind of snowflakes, and it got a bit blizzardy later on. But it was really eerie and spooky. It was like a Stephen King kind of vibe to the evening. And then I got up and went out this morning, and yeah, it's not particularly cold, so the snow will be gone by this evening, but it's just got this winter wonderland vibe around the place. It's very strange. It's like Christmas has come back for an encore. Very odd. But, you know, I'm sure Facebook will be full of weather reports, so you don't need me to tell you that. But yeah, weird weather for April in the UK, you know. So this week's been tremendous. It's been a really good week. It's probably been the week I've done the most. I mean, every week has been the week I've done the most, but this week's been particularly sort of effort-laden. I've doubled up on my weights workout, so I've been doing weight training every day, and I've basically done my usual weekly. I would usually do squats, bench, and deadlifts, 3 sessions, and do that through the week. So I do like maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And what I've done this week instead is gone squats on Monday, bench on Tuesday, deadlifts on Wednesday, and then started again. Squats on Thursday, bench on Friday, deadlifts on Saturday. And so I've essentially doubled the amount I've been putting out with the weights. And I've been eking those weights up little by little, really going slowly, sort of raising the weight, but just working on my form and going for volume, and that's feeling really good. So that's been a great success this week. I felt really strong. I'm really feeling it in my body as well. My clothes are hanging better, my posture's better, everything's just feeling nice and sort of tightening in, but not bulky or anything like that. I feel like I'm losing weight, but that's not the prime thing at the moment, really. It's just a case of the fitness and the strength is awesome. So that's kind of a great success with the weights. I've had a really good time with that. The bike has been really hard. That's been a brutal week on the bike for a couple of different reasons. One of them is that I would say that my old turbo trainer, I reckon that every single thing that I've done on that turbo trainer has been zone 1 or zone 2. What I previously thought was zone 2 is zone 1 or less. And what I mean by that is that the rolling resistance on the old turbo trainer is so light in comparison with the new one that there's just no comparison. It's absolutely no comparison. So now I'm getting on the bike and doing an hour in zone 1. And there's 2 different kind of zone calculations as well, which gets really confusing. There's your power and there's your heart rate, and they're not exactly the same. I don't know if they're supposed to be or not. I don't know if there's a miscalculation or something. I need to do a bit more kind of geeky research. But basically, you know, if I'm doing what I think of as a cool down ride or a recovery ride, then I kind of want my heart rate to be zone 2 for me is my heart rate around 120. So when I'm doing these recovery rides, my heart rate's averaging somewhere between 120 and 130, which is okay. But that's absolutely kicking my ass. You know, I'm getting off the bike after an hour and I've really put a lot of sweat out. I've put a lot of energy in. And then if I'm doing rides that are more challenging, that have got sprints in or they've got different zones in, then I'm really putting a lot of effort in. So it's kind of like changed totally changed my perception of how hard I need to work on the bike, and also how fit I am on the bike, because, you know, I am right at 1% of where I need to be with that. I'm right down at the bottom. I've got 12 weeks of spending time on the bike, which is great for my posture and my butt and everything else, but as far as the power goes and the energy goes, I've got a long way to go with that, which is great. I like being a beginner at stuff. I find it refreshing, you know, it's a nice thing. So that's been really interesting. I'm going to do another test, another ramp test on Monday as part of my workout, because I still don't feel that I've kind of done the ramp test properly. I've got a calculation, I've got a figure in there for my power, but I'm not certain that it's right. And that's because I didn't quite know how the turbo trainer worked. There's a thing that happens with the trainer, which someone's described as like the black hole of doom. And what happens is the trainer adjusts the amount of power at the pedals depending on what you need. So, for example, if I'm doing really quick rotations with the pedals and I'm sort of supposed to be putting out 100 watts, it will, you know, say, right, per rotation, you're putting out, because these pedals are going X fast, per rotation, you're going to need this much power to make your target. And if you stop pedaling that amount of power just goes up that you need to make your target in that time just keeps getting bigger. So you get to the point where, you know, you might have to try and generate 200 watts with one rotation, and it just ceases. It just becomes almost impossible. So because of that, I think that the last time I did the ramp test, I got into one of those sort of black hole spiral things, and it was really difficult. All of the rides I'm doing now, I'm trying to keep my cadence, my pedal speed really high. For me anyway, 80, 90, around there. So that I don't have that happen as often, so that I've always, you know, the pedals are moving quickly, it's not heaps of resistance. So I think that with that in mind, learning a bit more about how the unit works and how the resistance works, I think I'll get a better result on my next test, which I'm going to do tomorrow. But everything else has been great. The bike's been great, the working out's been great. Food this week, we've just been running it by averages. You know, it's been a little bit of a wet finger to the wind thing with the food. We've had other stuff going on around the house. And it's not been an afterthought, but it's also not been our best kind of like calculated effort of a week, which makes the weigh-in all the cooler, to be honest, because last week I think was 15 stone 6, and it was a non-mover from the week before, and this week I'm weighing in at 15 stone 4, which I'm really pleased with. I'm super happy with that. And it's quite funny, I went to get on the scales this morning, and before I got on, I genuinely wasn't that bothered about the weight because I'm feeling really strong. I've been doing stuff around the house and kind of like feeling physically properly able to do that. And just stuff like zipping up and down the stairs, you know, like coming up to the loft is up 2 flights of stairs. There's the stairs to the loft, there's the stairs up from the ground. And yeah, I'm just getting around the house a lot easier than I previously were. Doesn't sound like a big deal, that, but, you know, when it's stuff you do every day, it's, you know, it does make a big difference. So yeah, 15 4's cool. That puts me 2 or 3 weeks away from being at my running target, which is under 15 or under kind of thing. I want a 14 at the beginning of my weight before I start running again. So I'm going to start shopping for sneakers at this point and get myself some decent running shoes, because the ones I'm wearing now have got a hole in the big toe. They're properly worn. I've worn them all over the place. So yeah, I'm going to go shopping for some new ones of those. But that's cool. And then the only thing I really want to add next week is getting back into some yoga and some stretching, because the yoga's totally taken a back seat. I've not done any yoga for a couple of weeks, and I'm feeling it a little bit. For those of you that have been asking, I have been keeping up with my shoulder rehab workouts. I've been kind of doing those in my weights days when I'm doing my warm-ups to warm up my weight. You know, even if I'm doing squats or something, I'll do my shoulder kind of workouts that I've got and keep up with those, because, you know, that rehab is important. And that's kind of where we're up to, really. So a bit of yoga coming next week. I'm aiming for all the same targets for next week. I'll be a little bit more organised with the riding. I'll hit you up on that and let you know how that's going on Wednesday. My thoughts are to get like 2 challenging kind of rides where I've got lots of sort of sprints or different, you know, like higher zone kind of workouts, and then more recovery rides. When it's not snowing, when I get out for a real ride, I've got a little bit of stuff to play with on the bike geometry before I do that, because I'm still very heavy on my hands on the bike, so I'm feeling that I'm losing a little bit of sensation. I'm getting tingly fingers after I finish riding, which just means I'm kind of leaning over too much on the handlebars. So I've bought some different size stems and stuff to adjust. But I'll keep you posted on that as that develops. At the moment, I'm all right on the bike; it's not a problem. But if I was doing 2 or 3 hours of a ride outside, you know, with the handlebars dropped and stuff, I think it would feel a little bit heavy. Anyway, £2 off. I'm pretty happy with that. It's not bad. So 15 stone 4 is the magic number. That's where we're at. Thank you so much for joining me once again. If you're new to the channel and you want to stick around and see how this goes, then there's going to be a little subscribe thing about here. Some more videos for you to watch up here. And if you want to give the video a like for me losing a couple of pounds, that'd be cool. And I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.